They are two of Kenya's most influential communities, the Luo and the Kikuyu. Their histories, cultures, and worldviews shape the nation. But what started as a delicate dance of friendship and rivalry soon turned into decades of mistrust, betrayal, and political brinkmanship. To understand the rift, we must go back. Way back. Before politics, before the British, when the Luo and Kikuyu were just neighbors, living different lives under the same sun. Before the colonial storm, long before Kenya existed, the Luo and Kikuyu had carved out their worlds. The Kikuyu came from central Kenya, near Mount Kenya's lush highlands. They were agriculturalists, growers of millet, bananas, sweet potatoes, and later, maize. Land was sacred. Families passed it from father to son. Their world was built around the mbari, clan, and guided by the wisdom of elders. Their religion honored Ngai, the god who lived atop Mount Kenya. In contrast, the Luo settled near Lake Victoria. They were Nilots, skilled in fishing and cattle herding. Cattle wasn't just wealth, it was life, it was language, it was identity. A man's worth was measured in cows. Unlike the Kikuyu, the Luo didn't circumcise boys. Instead, boys passed into manhood through jokoganda, communal initiation that emphasized bravery, oratory, and wisdom. These cultural differences were more than ceremonies. They shaped how each community saw power, leadership, and family. While Kikuyu society prized structure and inheritance, Luo tradition valued debate and persuasion. Yet they coexisted, sometimes trading, sometimes clashing, but never fearing each other until the white man came. The colonial collision. The British colonial system disrupted everything. The fertile lands of the Kikuyu were seized for settler farming. Kikuyu men were forced into labor, their women into servitude. The response? Resistance. Groups like Mau Mau emerged, fierce, secretive, and overwhelmingly Kikuyu. The Luo faced a quieter assault. Their cattle economy was taxed, fishing rights restricted. Missionary schools offered salvation and slowly chipped away at tradition. But education had its consequences. By the 1940s, the Luo had some of the best educated elites in Kenya. This difference mattered. The Kikuyu were seen as rebels, the Luo as administrators and thinkers. Two different responses to the same storm, sowing seeds of a rivalry that would blossom in the era of independence. The broken brotherhood. As independence loomed, two titans rose, Jomo Kenyatta and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. Odinga, ever the idealist, believed in African socialism, land redistribution, equality, Pan-Africanism. Kenyatta, pragmatic and capitalist-leaning, sought stability in Western alliances. Odinga made a bold move. He refused to be prime minister unless Kenyatta, then imprisoned, was released.
He is the father of the African nationalism and the African national movement in this country.
But surely you're all rather more advanced than he is in your thinking about politics. Wouldn't he embarrass you if he was really let go now?
We cannot in any sense be more advanced than our teacher and master, whom I think is much more advanced in political outlook in this country than we are. We are still in the stages
Kenyatta
of
was
learning.
freed. They won independence together, but power quickly drove a wedge between them. By 1966, Odinga resigned as vice president. He formed the Kenya People's Union, KPU, a challenge to Kenyatta's rule. The Kikuyu elite saw it as a threat to national unity. Luo supporters saw it as a stand against exclusion. Then came Kisumu, 1969. Kenyatta visited. Angry crowds gathered. Words were exchanged. Shots rang out. Dozens died. The friendship that began in liberation ended in blood. Shadows of mistrust. The decades that followed were cold. Under Moi's rule, both Kikuyu and Luo suffered, but never equally. The Kikuyu, once favored, fell out of grace. The Luo remained on the margins. And yet the stereotypes hardened. Kikuyus were seen as power-hungry. Luos as loud, confrontational, unelectable. These narratives poisoned public opinion. In 1990, the murder of Robert Oko, a brilliant Luo minister, sparked outrage. He was burned, his bones found near his home. The government's hands were suspected, but no justice came. Still, Raila Odinga rose, the son of Jaramogi, charismatic, strategic, determined to finish his father's fight. In 2002, he backed Mwai Kibaki, a Kikuyu, under the NARC alliance. They won. It was a moment of unity, but betrayal followed. Raila claimed Kibaki broke their pact. Once again, the handshake turned into a clenched fist. From flames to fakes. 2007 was the spark. Raila versus Kibaki, Luo versus Kikuyu. The elections were marred by irregularities. Kibaki was swiftly sworn in. Violence erupted. Neighbors turned on each other. Over 1,000 people died. Kikuyus were burned alive in churches. Luos were hunted in retaliation. Kenya almost broke. Only a peace deal brokered by Kofi Annan saved the republic. But the wounds were deep. In every slum, every market, suspicion lingered. 2013 to 2017, Raila lost again. To Uhuru Kenyatta, Jomo's son. Many Luos felt cursed. Many Kikuyus feared revenge if Raila ever took power. Then in 2018, something changed, a handshake. Raila and Uhuru smiled, hugged, promised peace, but not everyone believed them. A future unwritten. The 2022 elections were strange. Uhuru backed Raila, but Kikuyus didn't follow. A new alliance rose. Kikuyus and Kalenjins. Old enemies turned friends. The Luo felt betrayed again. But beyond the political elite, something is shifting. Kikuyu and Luo youth are tired of inherited hate. On campus, in TikTok videos, in Nairobi startups, they are choosing collaboration over division. Marriages between the two communities are rising. Mixed businesses thrive. The next chapter is being written by a generation less burdened by history, because maybe, just maybe, the children of the mountain and the sons of the lake don't need to fight anymore. Maybe they can build together.